The first bombs hit without warning. Massive spherical devices, each the size of a small building, dropped from the sky with terrifying precision. They weren't like conventional weapons. These were oxygen destabilizers, sophisticated devices engineered by the Zorn Collective to systematically destroy planetary atmospheres. Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched the initial impact from the underground research facility beneath Mexico City. Her dark eyes reflected the holographic screens showing global atmospheric readings. The first bomb had detonated over the Pacific Ocean, creating a massive chemical reaction that began consuming oxygen at an alarming rate. 30% oxygen depletion in 3 minutes, announced Carlos, her senior atmospheric technician. His voice was steady, but a thin layer of sweat covered his forehead. Elena knew this was different from any attack humanity had ever experienced. The Zorn weren't interested in territory or resources. They wanted complete planetary elimination. Their strategy was brutal in its simplicity. Remove the fundamental element that sustains life, and the entire civilization would collapse. Within hours, 17 more bombs had been deployed across different continents. Major cities began experiencing rapid oxygen destabilization. Panic started to spread, but not in the way the Zorn had anticipated. Humans, unlike most species in the galaxy, had a unique combination of adaptability and preparedness. Years of climate change research, extreme environment survival studies, and paranoid urban planning were about to prove their worth. "Activate Protocol Breathe," Elena commanded. Massive underground complexes, which most people had believed were conspiracy theorist fantasies, now hummed to life. These weren't simple bunkers. They were complete ecosystem habitats, designed to sustain human life under the most extreme conditions. In cities across the world, hidden blast doors opened. Entire population segments smoothly transitioned from surface living to these sealed environments. Families, emergency workers, scientists, and government personnel had been practicing these evacuation protocols for decades. The Zorn monitoring systems couldn't comprehend what was happening. Their invasion models predicted complete planetary collapse within 6 hours. Instead, human settlements were rapidly sealing themselves, creating microenvironments with independent oxygen generation and filtration systems. General Marcus Chen, watching from the North American Defense Command, noticed something peculiar in the alien attack patterns. The oxygen bombs weren't just randomly deployed. They followed a precise mathematical algorithm designed to maximize atmospheric disruption. "They're treating this like a mathematical equation," Chen muttered to his communications officer. "But they're forgetting one crucial factor: human unpredictability." Each bomb was releasing complex chemical compounds designed to break down oxygen molecules. Normally, this would render a planet's atmosphere unbreathable within hours. But human genetic diversity, technological innovation, and decades of environmental adaptation research were about to reveal themselves. In research facilities around the world, scientists like Elena weren't just responding to the attack. They were analyzing, understanding, and preparing to counteract the Zorn strategy. Young engineers who had grown up hearing stories about climate change survival were now putting their entire lives of training into practice. Nanofiltration technologies, genetic modification research, and advanced atmospheric reconstruction techniques, all theoretical projects were now becoming immediate necessities. The Zorn expected submission. They anticipated fear. Instead, they were about to witness something entirely unexpected: humanity's remarkable capacity to transform a potential extinction event into an opportunity for survival and innovation. As the first day of the attack concluded, something became clear. This wasn't just a battle for survival. This was humanity's moment to show the universe exactly what they were capable of enduring. The underground complex stretched beneath Mexico City like a massive, intricate beehive. Thousands of people moved with surprising calm, their movements coordinated and purposeful. What could have been a scene of chaos was instead a testament to human preparation and resilience. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood in the central control room, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. Around her, Teams of scientists worked frantically, analyzing the atmospheric data streaming in from around the globe. The oxygen bombs had devastated the surface, but humanity was far from defeated. "Look at this," Carlos said, pointing to a complex genetic mapping screen. His finger traced a series of intricate DNA sequences. "Our genetic diversity is proving to be our greatest weapon." Most alien species were genetically uniform, designed for specific environments. Humans were different. Millennia of migration, adaptation, and random genetic mixing had created a species with incredible biological flexibility. Where the Zorn expected uniformity, they found complexity. In the medical wing, Dr. Amara Patel was conducting rapid genetic screenings. Young children born during previous extreme environment experiments were showing remarkable adaptations. Some displayed enhanced lung capacities. Others showed increased tolerance to chemical variations in the atmosphere. "It's like our bodies are playing a constant game of genetic chess," Amara muttered to herself, reviewing the latest test results. General Marcus Chen arrived, his military uniform looking slightly out of place in the scientific environment. "Status report," he demanded. Elena turned, a slight smile crossing her face. "We're not just surviving, Marcus. We're understanding their attack strategy better with each passing hour." The underground complex was more than just a shelter. It was a living, breathing ecosystem. Vertical farms lined entire sections of the facility, producing food through advanced hydroponic and aeroponic technologies. Water recycling systems worked with near-perfect efficiency. Energy was generated through a combination of geothermal, nuclear, and advanced solar technologies stored in massive underground batteries. Outside the scientific teams, regular citizens were adapting with remarkable speed. Teachers continued education programs. Children played in carefully designed recreational areas. Communities formed, reorganized, and supported each other. The Zorn didn't understand one fundamental thing about humans, Chen said, looking at a massive holographic display of global conditions. "We don't just survive. We thrive under pressure." Communications teams were already preparing their response. Not a message of fear or surrender, but a demonstration of human capabilities. Broadcasts were being prepared showing how humanity was not just enduring the attack, but actively developing technologies to counter it. In the engineering sections, teams were developing nanofiltration technologies that could potentially restore atmospheric conditions. These weren't just theoretical designs. Prototype machines were already being tested, each iteration improving upon the last. Young engineers who had grown up hearing about climate change challenges now found themselves at the forefront of humanity's survival. Their entire lives had been preparation for this moment, learning to solve complex problems, to adapt, to innovate. The genetic screening revealed something even more fascinating. Certain population groups, those with ancestral histories from extreme environments like high-altitude regions, desert populations, and Arctic communities, showed enhanced survival capabilities. A team tracking global human responses discovered something the Zorn could never have predicted. Instead of collapsing into panic, human communities worldwide were sharing information, developing collaborative survival strategies, and maintaining a sense of hope. As the second day of the attack concluded, the underground complex buzzed with an energy of determination. The oxygen bombs had been intended to destroy humanity. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous. The human spirit of survival was not just a concept. It was becoming a weapon more powerful than any chemical bomb. The technological counteroffensive began in a small laboratory deep within the underground complex. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before a holographic display, watching as lines of code transformed into molecular blueprints for what could save humanity. Nanofilters, she explained to General Marcus Chen, aren't just filters. They're intelligent molecular machines. The first generation of these microscopic devices was unlike anything the Zorn had encountered. Each nanofilter was a complex system capable of identifying oxygen-destructive compounds, breaking them down, and reconstructing stable atmospheric molecules. It was warfare at the molecular level. Carlos, the atmospheric technician, worked alongside a team of young engineers. Their fingers moved rapidly across quantum computing interfaces, programming the nanofilters with increasingly sophisticated algorithms. What had started as a defensive strategy was quickly evolving into an offensive technological marvel. In another section of the complex, Dr. Amara Patel's genetic engineering team was making equally stunning breakthroughs. They were developing biological adaptations that could help humans survive in the rapidly changing atmospheric conditions. Children born during this period would carry genetic modifications that enhanced respiratory capabilities. The Zorn thought they were attacking our atmosphere, Chen muttered, watching the progress. They didn't realize they were giving us the ultimate testing ground for our most advanced technologies. Military strategists began developing a comprehensive response strategy. It wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about demonstrating humanity's technological superiority. Each nanofilter became a message to the Zorn. Humans were not a species to be easily eliminated. The first large-scale test of the nanofilter technology happened unexpectedly. A small section of the surface near the Mexico City complex showed signs of atmospheric recovery. Sensors detected oxygen levels stabilizing, complex molecules being reconstructed. Young engineers who had grown up hearing about climate change challenges now found themselves at the forefront of humanity's most important technological development. Their entire lives of technical training, environmental studies, and innovative thinking converged in this moment. Communication teams prepared detailed recordings of the technological developments. These weren't just defensive broadcasts. They were demonstrations of human ingenuity. Each transmission showed the Zorn that their attack was being systematically dismantled. Dr. Rodriguez noticed something unusual in the nanofilter algorithms. They were learning, adapting. Each interaction with the damaged atmosphere made them more sophisticated. It was almost like the technology was developing its own form of intelligence. "They're evolving," she told Chen, her eyes bright with excitement. "Our nanofilters aren't just repairing. They're understanding and improving with each molecular interaction." The underground complex became a hub of constant innovation. Vertical farms continued to produce food. Educational programs ran alongside scientific research. Children learned about the ongoing battle while playing in carefully designed recreational areas. Genetic screening revealed another fascinating development. Certain population groups showed enhanced tolerance to the atmospheric changes. People with ancestral histories from extreme environments, high-altitude regions, desert populations, Arctic communities, demonstrated remarkable adaptive capabilities. Global human networks shared information rapidly. Research teams from different underground complexes collaborated in real time, sharing data, strategies, and technological developments. The Zorn's attack had inadvertently created the most sophisticated global cooperative network in human history. As the third day of the attack concluded, something became clear. This was no longer just a battle for survival. This was humanity's opportunity to demonstrate that technological innovation and collective intelligence could overcome even the most sophisticated attack. The nanofilters continued their work, each microscopic machine a testament to human creativity. The atmosphere was slowly, surely being reclaimed. The psychological warfare began subtly, almost elegantly. While the Zorn expected human civilization to collapse, they instead received transmissions that defied every calculation in their invasion models. The first broadcast went out from the Mexico City underground complex. Dr. Elena Rodriguez personally designed the transmission, understanding that information could be a weapon more powerful than any technological device. The message was clear, calm, and devastating in its implications. "We are not just surviving," the transmission showed. "We are improving." Holographic displays captured scenes of human adaptation. Vertical farms producing abundant food, children playing in sealed recreational areas, scientists working on advanced nanofilter technologies. Each image was a direct challenge to the Zorn's invasion strategy. General Marcus Chen watched the communication teams work with professional pride. They weren't just defending. They were sending a message that would echo through galactic communication networks. The Zorn monitoring systems began displaying increasingly complex error messages. Their invasion algorithms, developed over thousands of planetary conquests, simply could not process human behavior. Humans were responding to an extinction-level attack with curiosity, innovation, and an almost cheerful determination. Dr. Amara Patel's genetic research team discovered something fascinating. The stress of the atmospheric attack was actually triggering accelerated evolutionary responses in human genetics. Children born during this period were showing enhanced respiratory capabilities, improved toxin resistance, and remarkable adaptive metabolic functions. "We're not just surviving," Amara told her team. "We're deliberately evolving." Carlos, the atmospheric technician, developed a series of transmissions that were psychological masterpieces. Each message contained detailed scientific data about how humans were not just maintaining their civilization, but actually improving their technological capabilities because of the attack. The underground complex became a beacon of human resilience. Regular daily life continued with remarkable normalcy. Schools operated. Cultural activities happened. People fell in love, had children, pursued personal dreams, all while existing in a technically hostile environment. Young engineers treated the atmospheric challenge like an exciting technical problem. Where other species might have surrendered, humans saw an opportunity for innovation. Teenagers in the complex were already developing advanced atmospheric reconstruction theories. Global human networks began sharing not just scientific data, but cultural responses. Art was being created about the invasion. Musicians composed pieces explaining human adaptation. Writers drafted narratives that transformed the attack into a story of triumph. The Zorn began receiving transmissions that confused their central intelligence systems. Humans weren't displaying traditional survival behaviors. They weren't hiding. They weren't panicking. They were actively turning the destruction into an opportunity for advancement. Military strategists in the complex recognized that psychological warfare was just as important as technological defense. Each transmission was carefully crafted to demonstrate human capabilities without appearing overtly threatening. Genetic diversity proved to be another psychological weapon. Unlike most alien species with uniform genetic structures, humans showed incredible variation. Each population group responded to the atmospheric changes slightly differently, creating a complex adaptive response that was impossible to predict. As the fourth day of the attack concluded, something became abundantly clear. The Zorn hadn't just attacked a planet. They had awakened a species with an unprecedented capacity for adaptation, innovation, and psychological resilience. The transmissions continued, each one a carefully constructed message. Humanity was not just surviving. Humanity was thriving. The genetic evolution of humanity accelerated with a speed that would have been impossible to predict just weeks earlier. Deep within the underground complex, Dr. Amara Patel stood before a wall of holographic genetic displays, her eyes wide with scientific excitement. "We're not just adapting," she told her research team. "We're deliberately engineering our own survival." Children born during the Zorn attack were showing remarkable genetic modifications. Their respiratory systems had begun to develop enhanced filtration capabilities. Lung tissues could now process complex chemical compounds that would have been toxic to previous human generations. Dr. Elena Rodriguez supervised the broader implementation of these genetic advances. What had started as emergency research was quickly becoming a deliberate species-level transformation. Genetic screening became a routine process, identifying and enhancing survival capabilities across different population groups. "Look at these markers," Carlos said, pointing to a complex genetic sequence. "Children from high-altitude regions are showing enhanced oxygen absorption capabilities. Those from desert environments have improved toxin resistance." The underground complex became a living laboratory of human adaptation. Each section of the facility contributed to the ongoing evolution. Engineers developed advanced protective technologies. Scientists mapped genetic variations. Medical teams tracked the rapid biological changes. General Marcus Chen recognized the broader strategic implications. This wasn't just survival. This was a deliberate technological and biological upgrade of the entire human species. Young children played in specially designed environments that simultaneously served as both recreational spaces and genetic development zones. Advanced sensors tracked their physiological responses, collecting real-time data about human adaptation. The genetic modifications went beyond physical capabilities. Neurological studies showed enhanced cognitive flexibility. Children demonstrated improved problem-solving skills, increased stress resistance, and remarkable collaborative capabilities. Technological innovations accompanied the genetic developments. Advanced nanoimplants could now be safely integrated into human biology, providing additional atmospheric filtration and environmental adaptation capabilities. Dr. Rodriguez discovered something even more fascinating. The genetic changes weren't just defensive. They were creating entirely new human capabilities that extended beyond survival. Enhanced sensory perceptions, improved metabolic efficiency, and more complex neural networks were emerging. Global human networks shared genetic research in real time. Underground complexes around the world became interconnected research centers, each contributing to the collective understanding of human adaptation. The Zorn monitoring systems continued to display increasing levels of confusion. Their invasion models had never accounted for a species that could deliberately and rapidly modify its own genetic structure in response to an existential threat. Military strategists began to recognize that the genetic evolution was becoming a form of technological warfare. Each biological adaptation was a direct response to the Zorn's attack, turning their weapon of destruction into a catalyst for human advancement. Ethical debates continued about the rapid genetic modifications, but the overwhelming consensus was clear. Survival required innovation, and humanity was willing to innovate at every level. Dr. Amara Patel summarized the developments in a critical report. We are not just surviving the atmospheric attack. We are using it as an opportunity to reimagine what it means to be human. As the fifth day of the attack concluded, something became abundantly clear. The Zorn hadn't just attacked a planet. They had initiated the most rapid and comprehensive genetic transformation in human history. The human species was changing, and it was changing faster than anyone could have imagined. The moment of turning tables began with a simple transmission from Earth's underground complex. General Marcus Chen stood beside Dr. Elena Rodriguez, watching as the first strategic countermeasure was deployed. "We're no longer defending," Chen said quietly. "We're about to attack." Zorn reconnaissance ships approached Earth, expecting to find a dead planet. Instead, they discovered a civilization that had not only survived, but was preparing to strike back with technologies beyond their comprehension. The atmospheric control systems developed by human scientists were nothing short of revolutionary. Where the Zorn had used oxygen bombs to destabilize planetary conditions, humans had created molecular machines that could manipulate atmospheric compositions with surgical precision. Dr. Amara Patel's genetic research team had discovered something extraordinary. The nanofilters were no longer just defensive tools. They could now be programmed to create specific atmospheric conditions, targeting specific biological systems. "We can selectively manage oxygen levels," Patel explained to her team. "Imagine a weapon that doesn't kill, but makes an entire planetary environment uninhabitable for a specific species." Carlos, the atmospheric technician, worked on final calibrations. The first test would be crucial. Their technology could now create atmospheric conditions that would be perfectly comfortable for humans, but toxic to the Zorn's biological structure. The underground complex buzzed with a mixture of scientific excitement and strategic preparation. Young engineers who had grown up hearing about environmental challenges now found themselves at the forefront of an unprecedented technological counteroffensive. Global human networks synchronized their efforts. Underground complexes around the world shared real-time data, creating a comprehensive strategy that was both defensive and offensive. The Zorn's attack had inadvertently created the most sophisticated global cooperative network in human history. First contact was nothing like the Zorn had anticipated. Instead of a defeated civilization, they found a species that had transformed their attack into an opportunity for technological advancement. The atmospheric manipulation technology was just the beginning. Genetic modifications had created human populations with enhanced sensory capabilities. They could now detect Zorn ships at distances that were previously impossible, giving humanity a significant strategic advantage. "We're not just fighting," General Chen told his strategic team. "We're demonstrating a level of adaptability that the Zorn cannot comprehend." Transmission teams prepared carefully crafted messages. Each communication was a psychological weapon, designed to show the Zorn that humanity was not just surviving, but had turned their attack into a catalyst for unprecedented technological evolution. The nanofilter technologies had evolved into something more than just atmospheric restoration tools. They were now intelligent systems capable of analyzing and adapting to complex environmental challenges in real time. Dr. Rodriguez discovered that the nanofilters were developing a form of collective intelligence. They were learning, adapting, and improving with each molecular interaction. What had started as a defensive technology was becoming an offensive capability. Global networks shared not just scientific data, but strategic insights. Artists created narratives about human resilience. Musicians composed pieces that transformed the invasion into a story of triumph. Writers drafted accounts that would be studied for generations. As the sixth day of the attack concluded, the balance of power had fundamentally shifted. The Zorn had attacked a planet, expecting easy conquest. Instead, they had awakened a species with an unprecedented capacity for adaptation, innovation, and strategic thinking. Humanity was no longer just surviving. Humanity was preparing to demonstrate why they were a species to be respected, feared, and never underestimated. The final act of humanity's survival played out not with violence, but with an unprecedented display of technological and biological mastery. Earth's underground complex became the center of a galactic transformation that would be remembered for generations. Zorn diplomatic vessels approached with a mixture of fear and reluctant curiosity. What they discovered was beyond their most complex invasion models. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood at the primary communication center, her calm demeanor a stark contrast to the momentous occasion. General Marcus Chen stood beside her, representing humanity's strategic capabilities. "We're not here to destroy," Rodriguez explained during the first diplomatic transmission. "We're here to demonstrate what survival truly means." The holographic displays showed a comprehensive record of humanity's journey. From the initial oxygen bomb attacks to the rapid genetic and technological adaptations, every moment was a testament to human resilience. Dr. Amara Patel's genetic research team had transformed human biology into a living demonstration of adaptive capabilities. Children born during the attack showed enhanced capabilities that defied conventional biological understanding. Improved respiratory systems, advanced neural networks, and unprecedented environmental adaptability were now standard human traits. Carlos, the atmospheric technician, presented the nanofilter technologies that had saved the planet. These weren't just defensive tools, but intelligent molecular machines that could reconstruct entire planetary ecosystems. The Zorn diplomatic team struggled to process the information. Their invasion models, developed over thousands of planetary conquests, had completely failed to understand human capabilities. Global human networks had transformed the attack into a moment of collective advancement. Underground complexes around the world shared not just scientific data, but a unified narrative of survival and innovation. Young engineers who had grown up during the crisis presented their developments. Atmospheric reconstruction technologies, advanced genetic modification techniques, and intelligent adaptive systems were now humanity's primary technological exports. "We don't seek revenge," General Chen stated during the diplomatic discussions. "We seek understanding." The galactic communication networks began broadcasting humanity's story. It wasn't a tale of destruction, but of transformation. The oxygen bomb attack had become a catalyst for the most rapid technological and biological evolution in human history. Diplomatic discussions revealed something extraordinary. The The Zorn had attacked hundreds of planets, but never encountered a species that could turn an extinction-level threat into an opportunity for advancement. Art, music, and cultural expressions emerged from the underground complexes. Each creative work told the story of human resilience. Museums were created to document the remarkable journey of survival and innovation. Dr. Rodriguez recognized that this was more than a diplomatic moment. This was humanity's introduction to the broader galactic community, not as a species to be conquered, but as a civilization to be respected. The atmospheric reconstruction technologies developed during the crisis became humanity's first major technological export. Planets with challenging environmental conditions suddenly had a solution developed by the most adaptable species in known space. As the final day of the diplomatic discussions concluded, something became abundantly clear. The Zorn's attack had not destroyed humanity. It had unveiled humanity's true potential. Galactic records would forever mark this moment as the time when humans transformed from a seemingly vulnerable planetary species to a civilization of unprecedented adaptive capabilities. The oxygen bombs had been meant to end humanity. Instead, they had given humanity its most significant moment of transformation.